All right, all right. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Good to see you. Big waves out there, big waves. So, all right, here's what I want you to do tonight. So let me go ahead and I got to do just a little bit of housekeeping. This normally is a mastermind Zoom that we do during the day on Tuesday for everyone that is registered for the GoPro event, December the 11th, 12th, and 13th. Okay. After this week, if you're registered for the GoPro event, we invite you to our mastermind session that we host every Tuesday. That's kind of the admission ticket in, is the GoPro event on the 11th, 12th, and 13th. We're going to do this mastermind event through the end of the year, go through the GoPro event. We're going to be brainstorming going into 2021. It's a great time together. And so tonight, I wanted to bring everything together. So we have first of all, this will be recorded and this will play on my YouTube channel and across different platforms on social media. But you have absolutely crushed the enrollments for this event tomorrow. Congratulations. You got to give yourself a hand. Listen, we set out. How many of you saw this the other day? I'm talking about just sounding through social media. Like people are like, what is going on? What is that? You know, lives going on. People are building. People are excited. Here's the thing. I want to read this to you, okay? Follow me right here. Energy, 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 emotion, emotion, emotion. It speaks to the broke, the ones in credit card debt, behind on their mortgage, the one burdened with college debt, the ones that have no savings, no retirement, those that struggle to pay rent every month, the power bills. That's 85% of the people we come in contact with. We can speak to those people. But we got to have energy, we got to have emotion, and we got to be the people that they want to follow to a place they've never been. We're bringing people to a place they've never been. You're bringing people to the place they've never been. They've been told this don't work. They've been told network marketing don't happen for people, average people like you and me, mainstream America, mainstream in the world. They're wrong. They're wrong. It's a huge industry for people like you and me in mainstream. So we've got to speak with emotion. We got to speak with energy, or they won't come. They won't follow. Speak to those families struggling to make it to Friday, the next paycheck. Then you will connect to the masses. And you'll hear a collective, me too. Me too. Does that make sense? Raise your hand if that makes sense. That's what you've been doing over the last couple of weeks. I've watched new people get fired up and excited for this 7-day recruiting challenge. I've watched people that's been in the industry that's been laying dormant. That's kind of the sail has gotten knocked away from them over the years. I've watched them come back and get a surge and an energy because of the challenge, because of this crusade, because of what we've been doing. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And I just want to say congratulations to you. I want to give a big shout out to Andrea Rosser. How many of you have been getting messages upon messages upon messages? Listen, I'm not lying. Above what she normally does, just today alone, she put in 7 hours today just for the 7-day recruiting challenge. I want to give you I'm talking about a big hand. And she don't want to hear it, but here's the deal. It's happening. I mean, she's been doing a lot of behind the scenes to create the energy, the excitement, the emotion. And you've all done it. So tonight, I wanted to bring everybody together. There's people on this call that's in other companies. Hey, perfect. I told you when we started this, we want to see everybody grow. We want to see this industry is going to have the biggest year ever in 2021. Why? Because of what I just read to you. People are hurting. People are challenged. People are at a place they've never seen before, and they're all around us. And we've got something in our pocket called this industry, network marketing, that absolutely can speak to those people. So this week is going to be huge. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure logistically you understand tomorrow. So Andrea Rosser, again, thank you for all you've done. I want you to come on and kind of logistically talk about starting tomorrow, 7 days at 1 p.m. Central Time Zone. If I were you tonight, maybe grab a pen and piece of paper, because I want to make sure everybody gets this and they know exactly where to go. So Andrea, I'll turn it to you.
Well, thank you. Make me blush and then make me talk. So thanks for that. But I'm going to share my screen really quickly because, and this is what Wendy was talking about, if you guys heard her when she first came on. There's been a little bit of, well, we'll just say confusion. I just want to make sure that everybody is actually registered with Eric Worre. So the first step, that if you did not receive an email from Eric Worre saying the instructions on how to join the event tomorrow, then I'm going to request that you go back through the bot, and there's going to be a key step in there that, you know, so go to Team Undeniable, like the page, type all in with the space and no other punctuation, and then it's read the instructions. Betty's going to write to you, and one of them says get registered, and when you click on that, it's going to take you off of Facebook and it's going to take you over to Eric Worre's website, but connected with Brent Palmer's room. So you want to make sure that you're going to that link. So go to that link and go fill in your information, whatever you need to do with Eric Worre to get yourself registered. And then they'll email you where to go. So I would highly recommend that you do that tonight. And if you didn't get the email, do it again.
Yeah, and it's not hard. We've had a lot of people do this. It's just, as adults, we tend to not see the fine print. So just take your time reading through the message of the bot. If you did not, so if you go check your email today, you would have got a message from Eric Worre. If you did not get that message, then go back through the bot. Just take your time after this is over, and you'll see exactly what Andrea was talking about. Just big, deep breath. Here's what we don't want you to do. We don't want you to miss out on the emails you're going to receive every day over the next 7 days. Everybody with me on that? Kind of hands up if I'm making sense. Susan, I see you right in the middle of my screen, Susan and Bill. So you give me a hands up. If you don't understand, I'll unmute you. All right, good deal, good deal. All right. So I want this to be interactive tonight. Andrea, is there anything you wanted to add on the logistics?
Nope, that was it. Thank you, sir.
So we're going to put a link, I hope, at 1 p.m. Central Time Zone. If you do this, you'll get this email, but we'll also put up the link to where the 90-minute session each day is. Is that something we can do, Andrea? Okay, good deal. All right. So I want to go over just a few things, right? Number one, and if you're a part of another company, I would highly recommend you do this. But every night of the 7-day challenge, I am going to do a prospect Zoom at 7 p.m. Central Time Zone, okay? Every night. If you're not a part of our company, I would highly recommend you do it on, don't send your people to mine. You go send them to yours, okay? You do the Zoom, all right? Again, this is about us all going to the top together. So, but I would highly recommend it. 7 p.m. Central Time Zone, literally every night of the 7-day challenge, we will be live, and we will put that Zoom information out. Andrea, we can get that out to them how?
I can put the Zoom, if they've gone through the bot with Team Undeniable,
Okay.
I can message them there.
And we'll put it everywhere. We'll put it everywhere. You will not worry about where it's at, okay? You will see it. But just know, 7 p.m., all 7 days, we will be live doing a prospect for your prospects, okay? All right. Another thing that I'm trying to get this out, okay? Another thing, and if you're a part, this is the only night that this is kind of, I've got to do this. But I would highly recommend you do this for your people if you're a part of another company. So here's what's going to happen. Another thing. Todd Rowland Todd Rowland is obviously a top earner for us in our company, and he created an opportunity video, okay? Literally that you can send out. It's like 13, 14 minutes long that tells the whole story. Okay, the whole story, all of our house of brands. So here's the thing. Here's what you're going to be able tomorrow to go to the rxexperience.com and pull that video. We're also going to put that video in the chat right here. It is on YouTube. Okay, Andrea, can we do that?
It's in the chat.
Okay, the video's in the chat right there for you to grab. And share it with your team. Again, you can watch it first, but Todd Rowland did that for us. That basically lays out the whole story. So basically, you can send that when the time's right to your prospect. Let them press play. I'm calling it press play and 3-way. Okay? Press play and 3-way somebody in to close the deal. Okay? Press play and 3-way. Everybody with me? Okay, great, great, great. Now, this is going to be a huge week for us. Huge week. More people will enroll in this industry every day, every day, every day. So you heard, again, you're in another company. I would highly recommend you run some things for your team, a lot of excitement, a lot of energy for hours. Give you an idea, for everyone that enrolls, we're waiving this week the BOS, the boss, that's $24.95. No cost this week for everybody that enrolls on a pack, okay? Now, everybody enrolls. Make sure, 100 PV auto ship or $150 order for their auto delivery. And then they just pick the pack that they want, right? They pick the pack that they want. But we're going to load the system with new representatives of this company, of this industry. How beautiful is that? Absolutely beautiful. It's going to be huge. So, again, if you're looking on the RX Experience, we do not have it up yet. We are going to try to have that in there by tomorrow. So, just be patient with us on that. But make sure you get that video from the download section. All right. Now, here's what I want to do. I want to open it up for just a second because we had some things go on this week that I absolutely love. And this is why I wanted everybody on this call tonight, okay? And if you're wondering how long we go, we'll be over on the hour. If you got to leave, then feel free to leave. But we're going to make sure we're locked and loaded for tomorrow's event at 1 p.m. Central Time Zone. So I want to do some takeaways. So we've been having some assignments, okay? And so Andrea and Anthony's watching you right now. But one of the things that you've done an awesome job with this week and last week is lives. Like you've been challenging yourself, I know. Like I've seen Susan, I've seen Valerie, I've seen, I can go through the list. I've seen people doing lives on Facebook, just energy, excitement, emotion. Remember, you're speaking to the masses when you speak with energy, with emotion, and you talk from the heart. You share your people say me too when you're just you, right? Sometimes you have to share your mess and they hear your message. It's okay. And so I see you doing that out there and you're sharing your excitement. So Who's had a takeaway from doing the live? Like maybe you were scared to death, but you did it. Valerie's raising her hand. Valerie, tell me just a quick takeaway.
Well, one thing for sure, the more you do them, the easier they get. I promise. And I have people reach out to me, like messages that I've sent people in the last few days. So many people have responded saying, I love seeing what you're doing on Facebook. You look so happy. You have all this energy, and like, it's been amazing.
Well, that's perfect because again, they're seeing your energy. They're seeing what you're doing. And I remember you came on after the very first one and you said, you know, I didn't get a lot, but I've noticed you've stayed consistent. You just consistently out there doing your thing. Okay. Doing your thing. Remember, there's people always watching. I said, it's like Homer Simpson, you know, falling in the bush, right? They're still looking. They're still looking. So share. Great job, Valerie. Is there anybody else that's gotten a lead from a live you've done? Like somebody that you haven't talked to in a while, or somebody that's maybe private messaged you after, you know, a little bit of doing a live? Anyone had that? Raise your hand if you have. Might take us a minute. We got a lot of people on, so we're checking through. Anybody that's done a live, like, go ahead.
I have. So I'll raise my hand if no one else has. Somebody that I had actually reached out to probably about 9 months ago, a year ago, and like when it came time to make a decision, she was just gone. I was like, "Where'd you go?" Anybody ever did that? You're working with someone and then all of a sudden crickets, you're like, hello, where'd you go? It wasn't my stuff, it was her stuff. Like, all I can do is present it, but whatever it was, all of a sudden she didn't think she could do it. And she was gone. She wasn't going to listen to me anyway. So I just let it go. And I did the live the other day and she private messaged me and said, it's time for us to talk again. So I was like, yay! If I wouldn't have done that live, if she wouldn't have connected and heard my excitement, she wouldn't have been like, oh, I still want to do it. She still wants to do it. So we're gonna get her rolling.
That is amazing. That's amazing. I love it. And Crystal is actually, she just enrolled someone. Just again, the energy, the excitement, and you know. I think just a few days ago, Crystal, you enrolled someone on a pack, on an ultimate, just out of sure excitement. So, anybody else that raises a hand? I'm gonna move if there's not.
Faith, I unmuted Faith.
Thank you, Anthony. So, yep, I did a live and it was really cool. I had a lot of people that reached out and had nice things to say. Again, like Val, where they were congratulating and excited because I was excited, and some people were reaching out wondering what the excitement was all about. So lots of reach outs and having some success there. So it was cool. Very cool.
Faith, great job. I mean, here's the thing. I want this to be inspiration for you, you know, to just do it. You're going to be bad before you're good before you're great, you know, and it's okay. It's okay. The more authentic you are, the more it's going to resonate with people around you. So step past it. It frees you. So now we made a post that with the three, right? Three things. And we had tons of people do it. So somebody share with me how it went for you. And here's what I want you to understand. No one put up, I'm not saying don't put up product, but no one put up product. And what was your response? It was it was just allowing people to be open with you, right? To make some responses. So any hands up want to share with us your takeaway on that?
Arlene's unmuted.
Okay, yeah, I did it, and I had 127 comments, and I had about 93 likes. And so I contacted all of the 127 comments and visited with them, and they're on my name list right now. Some of them were just, you know, in the company, and so I didn't put them down. But the ones that weren't, I had about half of them were just people that had been following me, and they were so sweet and kind, said such nice things, and we talked, and I'm going to be going back to them.
That's perfect, Arlene.
Yeah,
Great.
I built the relationship, we're visiting, talking. I'm talking to 12 or 13 people at a time in an hour all day long, and it's I get mixed up who I'm talking to.
So, Arlene, we could be talking about a health revolution tonight as well, right? Because obviously we know this industry is made up of great products, and our company is. But here's the thing. If 85% of Americans out there are struggling financially and they don't like to talk about it, right? That's where I was. Debbie and Ken Snyder, that's where they were. You think there's people like us walking around you every day that's proud and not talking about their finances? And so when you make a post like that and people respond, all you're doing is it's memory jogging you about them, right? Oh, Earl. Oh, Sue. Oh, Ted. And you bring them into your book, right? You bring them into the front of your book, Arlene, just like what you started talking about. Like, you wouldn't have thought about them, but you think about them. And then once you start communicating with them, they roll to the back of your book, because now I see that. Now you're having some communication, right? You're having some communication with them so they can roll to the back. And again, you've got something beautiful in your pocket that you can share with them. And remember, it's up to them, right? It's up to them to make the decision eventually. But all we're doing is we're the providers of hope for people. Hope in their health, hope in their finances. That's what we're the provider of. But we always have to we've got to have opportunities to jog our memory of people that's come into our life. Posts like that will always do that. And a lot of you learn that through this challenge. Congratulations. Great job. Anyone else want to add to that post particularly?
Margaret, it's all you.
I was surprised that I had about 78 last time I looked that commented on the three. I was surprised at how similar a lot of the comments were, the three things that they said about me. And but there were 24 that I would not have thought of, like Arlene said, and started conversations back and forth with them. And now they're at the back of the book. It's, but I was surprised at how people see you. And there were different comments, but there was one word that seemed to be coming through a lot that I would not have pictured myself. Not sure, hadn't quite figured out how to translate that into communication with them, but I'm working on it.
Oh, and that's great, Margaret. Thank you for being honest. And so how do you translate that into sharing your opportunity, sharing your company, sharing your, how do you do that? Well, for one, there's an analogy out there or there's a saying that's been used for years in our industry and in sales, that people don't care what you got until they know you care. And so you having these conversations is the first part, right? Right. So you're starting to have some conversations, and then they're going to tune into you more. So they're going to see what you're doing, and here's the thing, to be able to reach out to them this week and say, listen, I'd like to bend your ear. We've got some really exciting things. And I just want to tune you in to kind of what we've got going on. You're going to know exactly what to do this week with what we go through over the next 7 days. But you're doing the front work of just adding value, being nice, talking to people, carrying on a conversation. And remembering in the back of your mind, people don't care what you got until they know you care. That's what you're showing on the front end. Jeffrey Birdie from Juice Plus says it all the time. He said, you lead with love. If you do this industry and you create something, everybody on here, remember this. If this becomes more about a mission rather than a paycheck, you'll never be able to spend the money you'll make here. Remember that. So, all right. Anyone else raising? And then
Ashley Paulson.
Ashley Paulson.
How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. So about the 3 posts, I had about 170 comments on there. And what I absolutely loved about it was you're being authentic, right? Like a lot of people were doing it obviously because it was a challenge, but like people were actually saying authentic stuff back. And I want to give a shout out to Lynette Hybrink because she commented and she said, I'm almost in tears for all the nice things people are saying, but really like taking that in, right? That's how people view you. That's how the outside sees you. And so really just, I absolutely loved when she said that, but what a fabulous time to actually do that post because of how much positivity it put in your Facebook, right? It was election week. And so lots of people had some political posts. So it was nice to actually have that positivity, but just having people be authentic out in Facebook land too. So kind of my 2 cents on that.
I love it, Ashley. Love it. Thank you for that. Keep that up. Let that be a reminder as you go through. I'm not saying every day, but periodically, if you ever want to get some memory joggers going on social media, just come up with something that poses a question and watch your news feed. Okay? And again, all it is reminding you of the people that has come into your life at some point. They'll be the ones that'll comment. Now, a lot of them will be in your company, and that's great. Don't leave them out. Appreciate them for comment back to them. But here's the thing. There's going to be some people that reach out that's not in your company, and that's your opportunity to lead with value, spend some time with them, talk to them about whatever, life, and then see where the ripple takes you. Everybody with me on that? Awesome. Okay. So last thing I want to bring up, okay, is we're going into this week and we talked about a names list, okay? So raise it up right here if you've got your names list going into the week, okay? You got your names list. We talked about it. We went over it, how to do it, how to find it, how to come up with them, how to bring them to the front of your book. And then as you're communicating with them, you roll them to the back of your book where they become a hot lead. So let's talk about that a minute. Andrea, have you got anything? Maybe you, I'd like to hear from somebody that has made 6 figures in our industry, because surely you're out of leads. Like you've made 6 figures, right? Or do you just got to be focused and zero in on an activity?
Well, I think there are a million people out there. So I know 10 years in, whatever income, I haven't even scratched the surface of my names list. But I think that was the power of the 3 post. I think that's the power. I was trying to look for it, but it's in my room. I've been working on it. Of the memory jogger, the names list. Like once you start writing people down, this person makes you think of this person, which makes you think of this person, and it explodes. Like your list explodes. We all know so many more people than we think. And if you just focus on getting those names on paper And don't even focus on the next step, right? Your only job at this moment is to get those names on the paper. It's not worrying about calling them. It's not worrying about what you're going to say. Don't worry about step 2 today, or hopefully this past week. You just worry about getting those names on the paper and getting as many names down as possible. And that's empowering.
Well, thank you, Andrea, for that. And that's coming from somebody that's a multiple six-figure earner in our industry. But I want to move it over. If they're still on, Andrea, because I know they do Zooms and meetings all the time. But Ken and Debbie Snyder, amazing people from Canada. I mean, go ahead, give big waves to Ken and Debbie if they're on. Hopefully, they're still on and not had to jump off to another Zoom. But millions in this industry.
I can't find them. I don't know what name they're under. I'm sorry.
Keep looking. Maybe they can raise their hand if they're on with their Zoom. So it's okay if they're not. But I just I thought about them because I saw them on earlier. But listen, let this be a note. They're $1 million earners in our industry. Like they're $1 million earners in our company. And guess what? She did it. Like they were doing it. Like they were going through the process. They were going through the steps. They were not too cool for school, right? And so many times, I think sometimes as adults, we're like, oh, Sue and Bill, y'all have heard this forever. Why do it again? And it's like, what? That's not, I mean, we wouldn't do that in professional football. Like if we got to the professionals, you think they just throw the football out because they played with it since they were kids? No, they still use a football, right? It's still the same size. I mean, the field is still the same length. I mean, things don't, and so you get to this industry and somebody like Debbie and Ken have not made too much money that they don't go back to the basics and just play the assignment game. And I watched them do it on their Facebook and I thought, how beautiful. Anyone else have a comment on that? Somebody had a lofty goal. I think it was somebody, I'm looking through the comments right now. Andrea, did somebody say their goal was 800? 800 names? I can assure
I'm
you.
looking.
Kathy from Cantaloupes.
Who's that? We've got so many.
Kathy from
Kathy.
Kamloops.
Yeah,
It's Kathy from Kamloops.
yeah, I contacted over 800 so far, and I've got a whole draw full. I said over 1,000. I probably got about 4,000 more people to contact.
Kathy, so let me ask you a question. Going into tomorrow, Kathy, amazing job. Going into tomorrow, how many do you have contact-wise that you're ready to go to on your books?
That you mean that might be interested?
No, just in your book. In your book.
In my book I have over 800.
Over 800.
That I contacted this week.
So here's the thing. Focused. She went focused on it. Do you realize your contacts, your network, the people you've contacted in your life that's in your circle, that's your net worth. I mean, that truly is it. Sometimes people go out and they try to cold and they do all this. I'm not saying that's bad, but I'm just saying, like, you've already contacted enough people in your life that if you can just jog your memory to that, that is your network. That's your net worth in this industry. That's your six-figure earnings. That's your seven-figure earnings for the next several years. So I want you to get that. I want you to really get that. Anyone else want to raise their hand for the names that it was just kind of something that popped out to you that was amazing?
I'll speak, Brent.
Okay. Who is this? I can't
It's
see.
Robin.
Hey, Robin.
Hi, everyone. So
Another multiple six-figure earner, by the way.
So what I'm finding is, because you think you've run through your list, and what I'm finding is when I posted the picture on the 3, you know, I had like 175 or some comments, I don't know, and people that I haven't talked to in a long time, they just popped in and, you know, said something kind. But then today I had a lady message me on Messenger, and she said, hey, I just wanted to let you know that and I don't know this woman, okay? I don't think we've ever met personally, but we're friends on Facebook, and she's like the mother-in-law to the worship pastor at my church. And so she said, hey, I just wanted you to know that I used your picture as a haircut inspiration today. And I was like, okay. I didn't even know I never knew she knew who I was. And I said, why don't you send me a picture of what it looks like? So she sends me her picture. Then she sends me my picture of me holding up my 3. And that started the conversation. She never commented on my Facebook post though, but you don't know who's watching you. You don't know who's out there watching. And another one I had was, I was commenting on someone else's story that I haven't seen in, I bet, 4 years, hasn't even come up on my radar. And he was in another network marketing company. He actually is a famous actor. And so anyway, I just commented on his story, and he wrote me back, and he said, gosh, I was just thinking about you the other day. And I said, awesome. So I started the conversation. Well, guess who are on my list now? That quick. So when you start to make the effort, it's kind of like it breaks loose the dam, and people will start coming. It just starts happening. It starts coming. When you make a little effort, then other people will start coming. It's the law of attraction. You put your thoughts out there with your intentions, and those people start coming. And I have people on my list that I would never even think of. And they're on the list because I've been in conversation with them about one thing or another. And just funny things, you know, you can post. It doesn't have to be a serious, you know, post about a product. But just allow yourself the permission to open that door, because people will come. They will totally come. And so anyway, thanks for giving me the opportunity to chat. And you guys can do this, really. And if you have to sit up all night tonight, make your list. Get your list as full as you can.
No, thank you. And thank you, Robin, for that, because it's your plug and play for this week, right? Because what's going to happen is tomorrow an assignment's going to get delivered, and the people that has the plug and play, they've got a list, they're going to be able to go right to it and fall right into it, okay? So it will be your key factor for your goal setting that you've set. If you go here with us, we set out this week to say, you know, last couple of weeks, minimum 5. Like we're going to recruit, each of us is going to recruit 5 new people over the next 7 days, right? Come on, nod with me, right? That's what we've been saying. We're going to recruit that. Some people's upped their game and went, no, I'm doing more. I'm doubling that. I'm doing 10. I'm doing 15. Okay. Here's what I'm here to tell you. And I'm going to come back to this, but Crystal Vance said she put 17 people in her first event. Those 17 people, okay, they didn't all go crush this business, but out of those 17 people, she has earned multiple 6 figures over the course of her time here. Was those 17 people worth bringing here that turned into that? Like I'm asking you tonight, like if you were to enroll 15 people and look and go over the next 3 years, those 15 people is going to turn into $300,000. Would that be worth it to you? Crystal Vance, maybe you can jump on right now. Does anything you want to add to that? Like, that's the power of this week. This week, there will be stories that emerge that whether it's 5 people or 10 people or 15 people, This grouping that you enroll this week will allow people to go on and become, you know, where they go, I've earned 6 figures from those 5 people. I went on to grow a 7-figure income from that initial nucleus. Crystal, anything you want to add?
Yeah. Ooh.
And just so you know, that this is my life too.
Yeah.
Like I have recruited, and I can point back to every little spurt run I've made in the industry. Everybody goes, how'd you earn millions? Because I had multiple spurts where I came back and I recruited a kind of like a mess of fish. I recruited a mess of people, like a, you know, a little grouping, and then I turned it and turned it and turned it. And I look up in a year, 2 years, and it's made hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's our industry. Talk to any $1 million earner and they would tell you the same thing. Crystal, you want to add there?
Yeah. Because what you just said is so true. It's how many times we don't go in and do another grouping. And it's because we don't want to let go of the ones that were a part of the first group who maybe aren't running right beside us. And I'm going to say some things here that might hurt a little bit, and it's going to make me a little bit emotional too, because I am a lover of the people. And the people that came in that group of 17, what in the heck is wrong with me? Are my hormones off or what? I've never been so full of tears and fire and excitement. And those 17 people aren't all here with me. And I keep going back to probably 10 of them. Like, come on, you can't friggin' see what I have done and what we have done, and you still won't come? And I keep like throwing it back at them. Like, you know what, Crystal, stop. I can't want it more for them than they want it for themselves. And there are 10 people that I haven't shared it with because I'm still trying to help 10 people that I'm trying to convince. And I gotta let this today, if I haven't done it before, today is the day where I drop that line down and go, the 10 can watch from the bushes. I'm gonna go find me 10 new people. And maybe it's in their story that they come around someday, and maybe I'll be able to go back and say they were part of the 17 and they wandered off and they found their way home. But it's not for me to say what their life is supposed to look like. But there's 10 people out there praying for me right now. So if you've been here and you had a group and your group went wayward and you've spent the last 2 weeks trying to breathe air into their lungs for them, stop today. Like, I'm glad you reached out. You're a good friend. You're a good family member. Today, unplug resuscitation. You can't breathe for them. Go get you 10 new people. Go share it with the 10 who are praying for you. That's what
Crystal, that's coming from a multiple 6-figure earner that left her practice of making $500,000 a year to do this industry full time. And we say that tonight because we got to love people where they're at. We got to love people where they're at. Some people just want to use the products. Some people just want to be tourists in our industry. It's okay. Susan, love on them, right? She does. But just love on those people. They're humans. But you know what? There's a lot of people out there praying for something. Light at the end of the tunnel, and hope it's not a freight train smacking them. And you come along. And you're brave, and you just nervously just get it out there. Make your mess your message. And it changes that person's life. And you realize, man, what if I wouldn't have? That's what this week is all about. We're going to change people's lives this week. It might happen tomorrow for Susan. The person she reaches out to tomorrow, the group of people she reaches out to tomorrow, when the assignment's given. It might happen on Tuesday, Nancy, in Canada. Wendy, it might happen for you on Friday. in Florida. You never know. You just got to go do it. Make it your mission. Mission over paycheck, and see what happens to your business. Crystal, thank you for that. So I'm going to end with this, because I think we've got to come in to these 7 days tomorrow with the right frame. The hype's there. The excitement's there. You're fired up, right? You're ready to go. But here's the thing. We've got to cut out the distractions this week. We've got to cut out the distractions. There's going to be something that hits you. There's going to be something that hits you this week. It's kind of like anytime you get excited about something, the universe, like, bam, you got to fight it. Because you're going to be gung-ho tomorrow, but will you be gung-ho on Wednesday? I mean, on Friday. Will you be gung-ho on Sunday? Will you be gung-ho on Monday? Listen, for the people that stay persistent and consistent through these 7 days, 90-minute segments, even if you have to go watch the recording that'll be up for 24 hours, don't miss it, and then take the assignment and go create something. And if you make it where you cut out the distractions and you make it non-negotiable, and you take that goal of how many you want to recruit this week, and you put it out there, and every day you work to closing people to set your goal, you're going to change some people's lives this week. You think it's about you, but what it's going to turn into is that little grouping of people that you brought here, you changed their life. You see, because you just heard from Crystal Vance, that grouping she brought here led her to Valerie Randall, that today is doing live videos on Facebook, and she's excited about tomorrow. And because Crystal brought a little group here that led to more, it brought Valerie here. And today, Valerie's life's changed because Crystal Vance brought that grouping here. And here's the thing. The winners, they get challenged and they go do it again. And then they do it again. And then they do it again. This week, we're going to do it again. All distractions are cut off. All distractions. You with me? 7 days. And the day you think about not showing up, remember, we said we were going to do this together. We said we were going to lock arms. We said we were going to stay committed. We said we were going to set ourselves up for an explosive 2021. I want to read something. Think about this week. What does a $500,000 a year person do that a $50,000 a year person doesn't do? See, you look on the outside and you study these two individuals and everything seems the same. They're the same sex. They both are the same age. They have the same training, same positions, same contract, the same fringe benefits. They both are successful. They work hard. They're good family people. They make tough commitments. But what's the difference? What does the $500,000 a year person do that the $50,000 a year person doesn't do? The $500,000 a year person pays the price just a little bit more. He works hard and a little bit more. She's loyal to the company and a little bit more. He bleeds just a little bit more. She makes money, but she makes money just a little bit more. He saves money, but he saves just a little bit more. There's not a lot of difference between that $500,000 a year person and that $50,000 a year person, but just a little bit more. Wendy Cooper this week is that little bit more. The stories are going to come from the people that do just a little bit more. See, you're on here tonight being just a little bit more. You didn't have to be. There's a lot more people registered for this event than it's on the Zoom tonight. But you're doing just a little bit more. Let this week be your springboard to an explosive 2021, because I'm going to interview people all throughout 2021 that let this event be the springboard. And it could be you. It could be your team. You're going to see this week, we recognize people. I challenge you to do it. I challenge you to make flyers for your team that's enrolling people, that's doing the work, that's staying committed. Recognize them. Brag on them. Post about them on social media. Interview them on social media. Do just a little bit more. And as we go into tomorrow, before you go to bed tonight, I just want you to write just a little note to yourself and save it. Just a little bit, nothing big, a little bitty note to yourself. Why? Why are you doing just a little bit more this week? Why are you starting tomorrow and doing this? Is it for your grandkids? Is it for your husband? Is it for your wife? Is it for your kids? Is it to pay off college, provide a college fund, go on a vacation, create more time freedom? Or is it just because you want to win it? You want to win. You've been in this industry a long time and you're ready to win. Why? Write it down, Melissa Jackson, and save it. And let's let this next 7 days be 7 days where each day we do just a little bit more. We challenge our limits and not limit our challenges. We take our list and we go to work. We reach our goal of enrollments and it's non-negotiable. We recognize our people just a little bit more when they're on there. They're on there doing a little bit more. And at the end of these 7 days, we're going to be tired. We're going to be challenged. The universe is going to hit us. But it's in a springboard to changing other people's lives in 2021. It's a springboard to changing your own life in 2021. It's a springboard for the reason, the why in you for doing this. It's a springboard to create the change that's got you on this Zoom tonight. I could not be more proud. This is a battle for me. This is like we're going into battle. We've got an industry that's going to explode tomorrow. You're going to see all the people that are on there. You're going to see, and over the months, you're going to see the lives that get changed because we had the courage to do just a little bit more. Could not be more proud and more honored to be going into this with you. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your desire. And let's go take it to the world this week. Love each and every one of you. See you tomorrow. God bless.
Thank you, Grant. That was amazing.
Be blessed.